Good morning. It's a beautiful one. Nice, sunny out. It was cold this morning, hard frost again, but it's warming up fast. So we are going to head up to the field. Brock is up there with the fuel trailer, getting the combine fueled up and everything. And I'm going to take a truck up. We already got one semi up there. Phil hauled a load of dry corn in this morning. We got the wet bin empty. We let the dryer run a little longer than I intended to, but it came in a little before 3, and yeah, it was just finishing up. The wet bin was just starting to run empty. I'm like, all right, cool, good deal. So we're in good shape to get started here this morning, and we're going to finish that irrigated corn. We're going to do my NCGA entries and move on to the next couple of fields, hopefully. There's the chicken litter spreader. Getting her done. Oh, let's do this. Look at Brock cleaning my windows. Good work. Frosty snouts this morning. Burr, turn the heated seat on today. Oh, yeah, we can see. Nice. All right, well, we got this triangle in the back here. We've got to get opened up, so we're going to have some crappy end rows along the river here. That's fine. It is what it is. But I think some of this corn out here might be really good. We'll see. We are back in the first variety, the variety that hasn't been as good. So that's not going to help, but it might be better back here. We'll see. So one thing I do know about these two varieties that I had up here. One of them, the 112 day, which is the one that was on the north that we're a little disappointed with, that's the variety I had out here 2 years ago that won me the state corn growers yield contest. So it's very good corn. Now, for whatever reason this year it didn't do as well as it did 2 years ago. The 111 day that is out here has been the one that I've used to do really well on my Dryland entries, but I have not had it on the irrigated stuff before. So it's really good corn. I really, really like that one. But there are some different characteristics between the two, and this was intentional on my part in planting them up here. The 12S75, the 112 day, it's a very showy corn, very tall, very good plant health and structure and everything, good disease tolerance. Its major weakness is late season drought. It kind of loses yield when it gets dry end of season. We got dry end of season. Now, yes, we watered it, but we still got dry, right? And so that's why when you get in the dips there, it was still greener and it just was a lot better corn because there was more moisture there. So perhaps we should have made another pass or two over it with the irrigation when I wasn't, and I just didn't. The 11V, on the other hand, the 11V76, its major weakness is early season drought stress. Because it is not a big showy ear. It lacks rows around in a lot of cases. You almost never find any 18 or 20 rows around. They're almost always 16. But if you're dry early in the season, it can go down to 14 rows around. And we were dry early season as well before we got the irrigation running. So I kind of hit both of those hybrids' weaknesses a little bit. That said, they still did really well. It was still really good corn, right? But that might explain a little bit as to why we're not at a 260 average like we were 2 years ago when we irrigated corn up here. So it is what it is. It'll be fine. I still really like both of these hybrids. I am going to plant a whole lot more of the 11V next year. The 12S I only put in this irrigated field because it's just too full season and it needs that really good growing conditions, I think, which we don't have on most of our other stuff. And I am going to switch hybrids up for next year because I don't want to plant the same hybrids 2 years in a row in the same spot from a disease tolerance or management standpoint. So got a couple different hybrids coming up here next year that we'll see how they do. But yeah, let's finish this up. You guys, check out this bird. I assume it's still running up here. We got a really cool bird out here. I don't know what it is. Oh, where'd it go? Hopefully I'll see it again. There it is. There it is. It's very colorful. It's almost like a peacock colorful. I don't know what that is. I'm sure we'll scare it out again here. Where did it come from? Interesting. What kind of bird is that? Did you see it?
No.
Let's see if it comes out on the end up here.
There's a couple nests of some sort over in that tree up there.
Oh, must have went farther into the corn. There it went again. We're gonna break this up over here. I'm gonna get this bird on camera so you guys can see. We saw our bird again. Our my superintendent for my yield contest stuff is here, so I think we're gonna pause and go do that. I'm watching for this bird again. Hey, you haven't put anything in the little truck yet, have you?
No, I'm saving that for you.
Alright, cool. We got an empty truck.
Did you call?
No, talking to Brock.
Okay.
Well, it's either in this 8 rows of corn or it's going to be coming out in front of us up here. Nope, must have ran through. Well, the bird was fast until it wasn't. Whoops. Sorry, bud. We got Brock out here searching because I'm sure that I saw one of my drops laying there and I said, hey, go get it. And he can't find it. It's not that far. It's about right there. Somewhere. We'll get out and we'll find it. Okay, it was just the bottom of a Y, not a whole drop. But hey, we found a part. There's 2 drops out here somewhere. I haven't found either one of them. All right. Well, Brock's got another full truckload. We got an empty combine, and we are going to do our NCGA entry. So we're going to start with this one over here. This is my 11V. We need to combine 1.25 acres. So we'll set a counter on here. And we're gonna go to the south side because the south side of that plot was greener than the north side. And we'll do our pass. We're gonna make sure we're not on a center of a planter pass or planter track and where the rain ran and that kind of stuff. Try and find the best spot we can. We'll see what happens here. I mean, there's some really nice ears coming into this machine. It's good corn. It is really good corn. And the yield monitor's running a little low. We're in one of the best spots, so even though our field average is in the 240s, we might get a 270. I suppose 280 would be possible. I'd be pretty surprised if we get that high, but not out of the realm of possibilities. So we'll see what we get with this first pass. We'll probably have to make another one. If we're really good, we won't be able to get it all in one grain tank load, but that's unlikely to be the case. Well, maybe this is better than I thought over here. I mean, I knew it was a good spot, right? But we've done less than 1 acre, 0.98, and we are at 87% full. We are not going to get 1.25 acres on here, which means we got to go dump and come back and do another 1/4 acre, or a little bit more. So, well, we got a shot. We don't have a shot. We're not going to win, but we're going to throw a decent, respectable number on the board. I don't think the second one was quite as good as the first one. You can see the strips there, and there's just a little more yellow in these strips up here. Come on. Than there were in these ones down here. The first one was right along the edge, so that's why only 2 in that one. But I don't know. I think they're going to be respectable numbers. We might see a 270 and a 280 something on the board here. Oh, whatever. That's good. So he's measuring the last pass, or this block, and we'll go put the rest of this in the truck. We used the small trailer, and it's going to be fairly full. It's fuller than I was expecting, so that's good. We're going to haul it into town. We'll just go to the close elevator here in Waldron. We don't take a lot of stuff there because, well, they don't pay that well. But they don't have rail. They just, everything goes in and on trucks and wagons and leaves on trucks, and so they can't pay like some of the farther places away that can put stuff on trains. But for one semi-load for contest stuff, it's just fine. If we lose, this is why. It all splashed over. Dang it. Is there 20 pounds of corn there? No, there's not even close to 20 pounds of corn there. Okay, let's finish this up. We got our entries weighed, and we did our paperwork and calculations. We got some trucks up here, and we are ready to finish shelling the corn. So how'd we do? How'd we do? Well, I'm not going to give you the final number on the better entry because I don't feel like I should do that. I will tell you that the less good entry, which was the 112 day, the one over there that we thought was the not so good one, was 267. The other one did better than that. How much better, I'm not going to tell you. But I will say this, I seem to have a ceiling. I, for about 4 years in a row, have had a NCGA entry in the almost identical ballpark every year, like within a few bushels of a certain spot. And we're in that same exact ballpark again, which is good. It's really, really good. Kind of depends on what the rest of the state did, and if there was really good corn around like last year, or if it's like 2 years ago when my ceiling was good enough. I don't know. We'll find out in December sometime when they release the results. I will share that information with you, both that and this one, and on the soybeans entry that I didn't share a week or two ago there as well. Yeah, I'm happy with it. For what this corn has been across the board, I'm really happy with the entries that we were able to pull off of here. They did well. Brock's gonna have to hustle to get this one up to the road and unload it before I get full again. Anyway, we'll have a full truckload on there anyway. Oh no, wrong way. Whoa, wrong way, wrong way. Go, 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 go. Whoops. I pushed the wrong button. My fault. That one, we'll leave that one off of Brock. That one's my fault. They don't tell you which one you're moving forward or back. I know it. It's the grain cart, but I pushed the forward button thinking I was going to move the combine forward, and I moved the grain cart forward. Whoops. It's full. Oh, this one was a big one. We're almost done with the irrigated corn. To finish this pass, and we got one more halfway up there, and we got her done. 170 something acres. That's a lot of corn. We hauled a lot of bushels off of this field. It'd be interesting to see if we had more bushels this time or more bushels 2 years ago, because we harvested more acres without having all the irrigation lanes and stuff throughout here. So we have more harvested acres than we have in the past, but the yield was a little lower than we've had 2 years ago. So many rabbits run out the end here. We got one running over there. There's another one right in front of us. One over there. There goes one. I saw 4 run out of a pass earlier. We'll see what this next one does too. The rabbits are thick out here. And that one there, the hawk's about to get. He's trying. Got him. It's even all gonna fit on the cart. Barely, but it is. Whoa! We made it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I saw 6. Let the combine clean out. What a deal. Alright, so there is the little piece on the corner over there. Let's see, there's the old map. That back stuff was good. Best part of the field was right in here, which is kind of what it's about what I expected. I thought it would be in that area somewhere, but there was a variety split right here going that way, and this corn was better than this corn. Overall, really good. So there's a few things we're going to do to improve upon corn here next year. In fact, we'll talk about this when we get over in the other field, and I'll talk about things a little bit more, but just take a good look at this yield map. Next year, we're going to put a set of end rows right down the center where the backbone is and eliminate these here. So that will basically clean up all of this yellow and red that we have in here where we don't really need end rows, but we can't farm this all the way through. It's too much. And so if I put the end rows here, we can farm all the way through to the center, and then when we're going across the rows here, we won't be going across the rows, we'll have a set of end rows there. So that should make it a little bit more efficient from a watering standpoint. It should also make it so we run over less corn, less turns, all that kind of stuff. That will be good. There's not a lot I can do to clean up the red here, or even here, and along the trees and the end rows. It is what it is. Yeah, so we should do a little bit better next year. Now, corn on corn typically doesn't yield as good as rotated acres. We're going to see how much we can mitigate that. I am trying to break a white mold cycle that we have in our beans up here. Last year we had beans up here, we had white mold in them terribly bad. And so my thought process is, if we can go 2 years of corn, we can water it, we can try and push the yields a little bit more on the corn, and maybe get away from beans for a second year, and it might at least help reduce the white mold pressure that we have up here. So that's the reasoning for the plan to go corn on corn. Anyway, we got that little field over there on the corner. This one, we're gonna go get that. So obviously I'll have to sit down at the computer and kind of look at the results a little bit more on the 360 rain there, but let's talk about it a little bit. How did we do? What's our overall reaction? First off, overall reaction, I'm a little disappointed, let's be honest. Like I was hoping for more. So 2 years ago we had corn in that exact same field. We irrigated it with the Cadman hard hose Traveler, and it averaged about 260 field average. 260 is phenomenal corn. Now the weather was different that year. We didn't need as much rain. We weren't as dry. We weren't as dry as often. It just was different. And so it's hard to compare apples to apples or year to year like that because it's not the same. And so you can't say that, well, the corn wasn't as good this year, this irrigation system must not be as good. That's not the takeaway here. Now, once we do our post-calibration, I think we will find that our average yield was somewhere between 245 and 250. That's really good. That's far better than any of our other corn that we have done so far. So it's still our best corn. The water still made a big difference. Now, was it the water or was it the fertilizer, like somebody asked? Well, it was a little bit of both, I'm sure. It wasn't just the water, but it also wasn't just the fertilizer. It was both of those things together that made the difference. And that's okay. That's why we put the fertilizer on, because we know we got the water to support it and we can push it. So it's not it's not one or the other, it was both. Is the rain worth it? Well, at 350 corn, it's going to take a long time to pay back getting even a 40 bushel increase. We do have operating costs, right? We had to pay for the fuel for the generator to pump the water. Obviously, we've got a lot of equipment costs in the actual machine itself, into the well, into all of those things that we have to pay for, but that's not operational. That's not a variable thing whether we run it or not. Next year will be a lot better because we will have electric power from the power company, from the grid, and that will cheapen our electric costs and our pumping costs, as well as ease the process a lot, where I don't even have to come up here, I don't have to bring fuel, I don't have to do anything. So from that standpoint, things will get easier and better in the future and cheaper to run. Our actual operating cost on that, just for pumping the water, is going to be very cheap. Like, it doesn't cost much to let that thing sit there and run. So that's a good thing, and we can just let it do its thing. We're learning. We're going to get better at running it and figuring out how it works and how best way to operate it is. But it does have limitations, right? Now, obviously, we are limited as to how much water we can put on with the 360 rain, right? We've got a 3-inch hose. We're only putting out about 230 gallons a minute through our well. And so that's kind of the limiting factor, is how fast can we put the water on. And we've maxed out the acres that we can cover. We covered 170-ish acres with that machine this year, and that's about it. You're not going to cover much more efficiently because it takes too long to get back over the field. I mean, it made a difference. It made a big difference, so it worked. But there's the argument to be made that maybe instead of trying to cover all 170 acres, maybe we cut those 2 triangles out and say we don't need to water those. It's heavy enough ground. Let's just cover the remaining 100 acres or 110 acres and do it in 4 days or in 3 days instead of 5 days, and we water it more frequently and we increase those yields even more. Maybe. You know, sure, a pivot could put more water on, but a pivot would not cover the acres that we are covering, and it would have cost a lot more money to do so because our well cost would have been much higher, our piping and electrical cost would have been much higher, and we would have had to put 2 pivots in to try and cover it. So that's, yeah, a pivot may have had better overall yields on the parts that the pivot covered, but total bushel increase is kind of what matters here, and I would bet that across a larger number of acres we had a bigger increase overall. So I don't know, those are things we need to dig into a little bit more. I am not at all upset with the system or like, crap, we made a mistake, shouldn't have bought that. I don't think that at all. This was so much more user friendly and so much easier than the hard hose that we were running before, and it only gets easier as we continue to get it set up better in the future. So I really, really like it from that standpoint. At some point here, we will do a year in review, not a year in review, a 1 year review of the 360 rain. 360 rain people, if you are watching this, which I know some of you do, at least at some points, I have some feedback. I have some things that you could do to make it work better, some improvements for the app, and just, you know, general feedback on the system and how we can make it work better. And we'll talk about some of that stuff when we do our review video on it, but we don't need to go into it all right now. So I'm doing end rows on this corner piece. We're gonna have to change the scale on our yield map because it's all red right now, which tells you that the water made a big difference for us. Well, yeah, we got a bunch of end rows to do, get this opened up, and let's get this done because we've got another 18 acres a couple miles up the road here that I really want to do today. Lots of red on that map. End rows. Ugh. There's some good stuff, but there's a lot of end rows on this field when you have small fields like that. They're a higher percentage of ends. So field average is only a 198, so that makes our irrigated stuff look even better, I think. That's good, I guess. It's not really good. I would rather this be good corn, but hey, take what you get. Nice, got this one done. All right, I knew that one would go quick. 202, 203. Nice, that's not bad. But the irrigation worked. So, okay, the next field we've got is kind of across the section over that way. I'll have to get everything moved up there. We've got, you know, the combine and the grain cart here, obviously. We've got a truck, and Phil's pickup is here, so we should be able to get stuff moved. Well, here's where we're at. This field right there. It's only 18 acres. Should get her done pretty easy tonight. This is 102-day corn, and I would expect much, much drier. So this is a very good farm. Should be good out here. This is also one where we have where we did our spring dry fertilizer applications. So there was 2 fields that we did not do fall fertilizer last year. This was one of them. The other one was our new farm that we couldn't do last fall. And so we had them spread some of the nitrogen, is urea and AMS, on this field pre-plant, and then we side dressed it with a much lower rate. So kind of interested to see what kind of results we see from that up here. 102-day corn, and we're already down there at 16%. Look at that, 302, 312. Look, good corn. This is a good variety. Holy cow. Oh, all right. This could be fun. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's 6 o'clock on a Friday night. My grain cart driver's leaving me. No, it's fine. He has to work a football game tonight for EMS stuff or something. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. He told me about it. So, I mean, it'd be nice to have a grain cart for at least part of this field, but I don't know if we'll have to have it. These aren't the longest rows, so we'll be fine. Okay, I am so confused right now. Like, we'll call it 2 miles, mile and a half from where our irrigated field was. Now this is different ground. This is heavy ground. This is more the river bottom. This is a good farm. But it's 102-day corn. The fuller season corn is supposed to do better than the early corn. Maybe that's not the case this year with the way the rainfall was. But where do these numbers come from? Dryland. That's dry. It's not any water up here. I am so confused. It's awesome. Like, watch this. Watch this number when I pick up the head and we turn around on the end and the combine clears out, and watch what we get. Just watch it. Okay, dry yield number right there. That's for 2 round and a half. Where? What? How? 282, 283 and a half. I am so confused. Now, I had told you that our yield monitor had been low on that irrigated field and the couple of fields leading up to it. And so between the last field and this field, I changed the offset, right? So we're using the active yield. And when I click this button, there's a yield calibration button that says you can't yield calibrate when you're using active yield, but you can click on this and you can see the active yield stuff. It's got 1,000 samples, but if I click on this, there's a correction. Oh, that's why. That's why. Okay, never mind. Scratch that. This corn's not nearly that good. That should say -8%. We were at -10%. And I wanted to go to -8. I wanted to change it 2%, not 18%. That'll do it. Okay. Well, we're going to leave it for the field, and then we'll post-calibrate and correct when we get our grain cart scale data. We're nowhere near as good as what that says. Well, that was embarrassing. I knew it wasn't right. I just didn't know how I could be so far off, because I thought I changed it 2%, and we changed it 18%. That'll do it. Yeah, we're off. Well, without a grain cart operator, I got to get out and go empty it. So, cart is full. Phil did come and switch trucks, so he took a full one out of here already. We'll go unload the cart, and he'll have another full one for when he comes back. It just takes longer. It'll be fine. We got 8.7 acres done of 18.7. We got 10 acres to go. This is fun, even if the monitor is lying to me. It's good corn. It's nowhere near that good of corn. Not even close. Basically, that number is 16% high across the board. Shoot. Should have taken this pass. This is the one that's going to curve over into the one next to me, because we curved around the house. And now we're overlapping rows. That's not good. It's fine. Just follow the inside ones. They'll at least get me back to where we need to be. These two in the center, yeah, not good. Not good. Not what you want. Now we got a wide row. Should have taken this pass and not that one, but I was trying to split it. Come on. Come on. There we go. We'll get back to where we're supposed to be here in a second. There we go. Anyway, it is better for me to leave the calibration number way off for the entire field, because at least the yield map still has some integrity at that point. I can go in when we're done and tell it, hey, you didn't have near that many bushels on this field, or this was the actual weight from it, and it will then fix my map and make everything look like it was supposed to. But it definitely throws the monitor off while we're in the field here. So yeah, we're basically 16% high on all of the numbers for the yield in this field. And that's just a mistake on my part because I thought I hit the little positive negative button to make it negative, and apparently I didn't because it was supposed to put in a -8 and I put in a +8. Well, we got this one done. What a deal. It says 263 average. I know that's not right. If you take 16% off of that, it puts it around 220. That's believable. I told Phil he probably didn't need to come back tonight, but I got that truck full, and so whatever's left on the grain cart here, we won't have a weight on. So we'll have to wait till tomorrow to finish our post-calibration, or to know the final weight of what the field actually was. But 220 sounds reasonable. So anyway, this one is done. We've got 95 acres more of this same variety. It's that way down the road. Here. So this was our irrigated field. We did this little one on the corner, and then we jumped up here to do this one. We've got these 2 fields and these 2 fields to do. That is the goal for tomorrow. Now, we won't get all of that done tomorrow, but we've got to get it done before Monday. That's the goal. So between tomorrow and Sunday, do that 95 acres, and we'll be happy. Well, all is running good here. The dryer's putting out like over 2,000 bushels an hour. There's not really any wet corn left in the bin, or just one light on there. So we won't have to worry about that tonight. And yeah, all is good. So we'll get moved in the morning. I might try and spread some fertilizer. I don't know. I'm not really planning on it, but I could do that. So we'll see. But thanks for watching this one. Hit that like and subscribe button for me, please. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. The neighbor across the road from my house here has got 3 tractors out here. They got all kinds of stuff going on. Look at this. We got a ripper here or something. I don't know what they're doing. It's not that big of a field for 3 tractors, but hey, whatever. They're about done. Night, everybody. Oh, hey, one more thing before we go. See, guys, my awesome wife who did all these pumpkins and stuff. She is going to participate in the Columbus Half Marathon this weekend. So y'all wish her good luck and tell her, way to go, congratulations, awesome job, something like that. I think it's awesome what she's doing. And so, yeah, she's doing that on Sunday.